Hello everyone and welcome to Rasayan Academy guys, and this is our 20th video in the name reaction series, in the 100 name reaction series. So yes, we have, along with this reaction, we are going to complete 20 name reactions, which is definitely huge, and I hope that you have watched all of those 20 videos and you have practiced all of the examples that we have done, right? And yes, we are going to talk about a very important reaction, that is the Swern oxidation, right? It is very important and it has been asked in the CSIR exam as well. So what are we going to do in today's session is, because it is the 20th video, so I have taken a previous year question also, right? A previous year question on Swern oxidation which was asked in the CSIR exam. Along with that, as usual, we are going to do two examples. Alright, so yes, let's begin very quickly. So Swern oxidation is the oxidation of alcohols to corresponding carbonyl compounds, right? So you can see this is our alcohol. So basically it is a secondary alcohol. So definitely guys, you know that either if we are doing oxidation, either it has to be a primary alcohol or it has to be a secondary alcohol. Why is that so? Because a primary alcohol has two hydrogens, yes, and a secondary alcohol has one hydrogen, which is the minimum requirement for the conversion of alcohol to the ketone. Yes, because one hydrogen has to be lost. This proton has to be lost from here, right? So yes, the primary and the secondary are going to be converted into the ketone. Yes, so what is the overall reaction? Now very important reagent combination is present in this reaction, right? The COCl2, the oxalyl chloride, also the DMSO. So I hope that you remember the Korey-Chaykovsky reaction, right? Because there we were forming the sulfur ylides, right? So here very similar ylide we are also going to make within the reaction itself, and it is giving intramolecular reaction. Alright, so we are going to see that. So the Swern oxidation is the oxidation of alcohols to the corresponding carbonyl compound using oxalyl chloride COCl whole twice and DMSO at low temperature. How much low temperature? Minus 78 to minus 60 degrees centigrade. Basically these are the temperature conditions which are already provided. Yes, these are already provided, followed by proton abstraction and quenching with triethylamine, or let's say an amine base. Right, an amine base, that is what we are focused on at normal temperature. So these normal temperatures are also from minus 30 degrees to 0 degree. Alright, so this is what we call the normal temperature in the Swern oxidation. Yes, so first of all we take a combination of COCl2 DMSO and at minus 78 degrees centigrade. This is the most important thing you have to note. Secondly, we have triethylamine base at a temperature to minus 30 degrees centigrade or to 0 degrees centigrade. Alright, these are the conditions which are given in most of the textbooks, right? So this is what the reaction is, and now I know that you are all excited to see the mechanism. So we quickly move on to the mechanism, right? What is the mechanism of the Swern oxidation and how is the DMSO being helpful over here? What is DMSO, guys? It is dimethyl sulfoxide, isn't it? Yes, this is DMSO. So you can write it in this manner or you can write it in the ionic form also. Both of these are correct, isn't it? Yes. Now what is oxalyl chloride? It is COCl whole twice, और इसका काम क्या है यहाँ पे? It is to generate the sulfur electrophile basically. Yes, so as you already know that if let's say a nucleophile wants to attack on this sulfur, now oxygen is not a good leaving group, so it's not going to leave nicely, right? It is going to be very reluctant to leave. So with the oxalyl chloride we are making the oxygen a good leaving group and we are making it leave. That is the whole point of using oxalyl chloride. Okay, so here we start. These are our two carbon centers, and let's say from the DMSO, this is the DMSO molecule. So from the DMSO the oxygen is attacking on one of the carbonyl carbons, the bond opens up, and what happens is you get a tetrahedral intermediate like this. When the O minus is the next step, right? When the O minus falls back, you already know that there is going to be substitution of Cl, and you get the DMSO connected to this carbonyl carbon. Now, there is one thing, there is one free chloride in the medium, isn't it? One of the chloride which got removed from here, this is the free chloride that we have. The free chloride is going to attack on the sulfur, and now you see that oxygen is a good leaving group because it is connected to the acyl group, right? It is connected to the acyl group over here. So what happens is, when the oxygen leaves, it is going to leave like this. It could form a CO2 gas, right? Isn't it? It could form CO2 from here and carbon monoxide from here and a Cl minus. So this is exactly what we get. One Cl minus from here, carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide. And what is our main substrate that we get? This is the dimethyl sulfide over here, but basically it is a sulfonium chloride, right? So this is the electrophile we were talking about. Yes, this is the electrophile we were talking about, and the alcohol is going to attack on the sulfur from over here. So we are going to proceed with the electrophile generated from the combination of DMSO and oxalyl chloride. And let me tell you very important thing, why do we take 78 degrees centigrade temperature that I was constantly mentioning? Because at this temperature the formation of this sulfonium chloride is very easy. Yes, the formation of alkyl sulfonium chloride is fast. This is fast, and that is why we require a low temperature for the Swern oxidation reaction. Now the electrophile is generated. What do we want? We want the alcohol oxidation, so we are going to move onwards to the next step. In the alcohol oxidation, the alcohol is first of all going to attack on the sulfur. Now since you have a good leaving group, the chloride is going to leave. In the DMSO you did not have a good leaving group, isn't it? Yes, but now you do. So the Cl minus is going to leave, and this is what you get. You still have the sulfonium ion only. It's the sulfonium cation which is stabilized by the Cl minus charge only, right? They are not covalently bonded anymore. Yes. What do you expect further in the next step? Now this, from here starts the next step, that is the addition of triethylamine. Now the triethylamine is a base, as you already know. So it is a base, and it is not going to, let me tell you very clearly, it is not going to abstract the proton. You are not going to write this mechanism कि ये यहाँ से proton abstract हुआ and the bond opens up like this and so on. Alright, no, just a second. So yes, you are not going to write it like this कि the proton is abstracted from here, the bond opens up, and this is sulfur that leaves. That would be a wrong mechanism, because right now this proton is a little bit hindered for the base to abstract. What is happening? The triethylamine is rather taking away a much more easily abstractable and also more acidic proton. This proton is more acidic since it is connected to sulfur, which has a positive charge. So definitely this proton is more acidic. Yes, and the carbanion generates on this carbon. Yes. So what do you get, guys? Do you get the sulfur ylide? Yes, we have studied in the Korechkovsky reaction also in the very beginning of the name reaction series. Okay, that we are forming sulfur ylide by the removal of a alpha proton to a sulfonium ion. The same thing is happening over here. Now this O minus, now this negative charge, is on a carbon. Okay, now this is going to abstract the proton from here, and then the oxidation takes place, right? So yes, here we are into this step. So there is a negative charge on the methylene carbon. It's going to abstract this proton. The bond falls over the oxygen, और ये हो गया है oxidation. And who leaves? The dimethyl sulfide leaves. Yes. So one of the methylene group took up a proton, right? Which proton? The proton on the carbonyl carbon. So that is why it has to be either a secondary or a primary alcohol. Alright, so I hope that this information is clear to you. It's a very simple reaction, Swern oxidation, and we are now going to see some very good examples. So we started with the alcohol, and you get the ketone, isn't it? And what is the specific nature of the Swern oxidation, right? You saw the mechanism, you saw the reaction conditions, right? First of all, it's going to be oxalyl chloride and DMSO. In the second time, it's going to be the base. But yes, you also have to see what is the type of reaction, how many functional groups are being attacked, which are being not attacked, all right, which are being tolerant. Okay, so we are going to see this example over here. What happens is, guys, ye dekho, what is happening is, you see that there is a silyl ether group. This is our silyl ether, and nothing is happening to the silyl ether. Yes, it's not changing, isn't it? Which means that it is going to be tolerant to the ethers. Very well. So what do you expect in this reaction? Same, you have the, I hope that you can by now draw the mechanism by yourself. So I would definitely encourage you to stop the video and do it by yourself, guys. Yes, so this is our practice question, isn't it? You have to do it by yourself. Alright, so this is what you get. Positive charge on sulfur, and then Cl minus is going to attack on the sulfur itself, and the whole group leaves, and you have the carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide, CO plus CO2, and then Cl minus, and this is your main electrophile that you have. Yes, this is your main electrophile. Now further, this alcohol is going to attack over the electrophile as always. Yes, the Cl leaves, and what do you have? You are going to have an intermediate like this. The oxygen, the sulfur, the two alkyl groups, there is a positive charge on sulfur, right? And the remaining, everything is going to be the same. Everything else is the same. No change in any functional group. Basically, most of these are ethyl, C11, H23, alright. Okay, so then triethylamine. What do you mean by then? Matlab ki in the first step you are taking this combination, and guys, over here the temperature is not mentioned, but definitely you understand that it is going to be either minus 78 degrees centigrade or minus 60 degrees centigrade depending on the reaction conditions, right? Okay, then triethylamine ke liye you have minus 30 degrees. Alright, you are just heating it a little bit, not heating it, bringing it to a lesser, higher temperature, minus 30 degrees centigrade. Alright, then you have the ethylene triamine, and it's going to take away the proton in the next step. It's going to take away this proton, isn't it? And what else do you get? You get this type of an intermediate, C6H13. Alright, I hope that you are all able to understand the mechanism, guys, and if you are able to understand the mechanism, then do comment in the comment section. Yes, and yes, this is what you get, a negative charge, and this is your ylide, sulfur ylide, which is formed. Now the sulfur ylide is taking away the proton, which is basically below the plane, isn't it? Yes, so look over here, this is the proton below the plane, right? So the minus charge takes away this proton, the bond falls over here, and this is what you get. You get a ketone, right? So everything else is the same, all right, and you get a ketone plus dimethyl sulfide. So this is your answer. You get a ketone, oxidation, and remaining everything, all the other groups remain same. So it is tolerant to the ethers. Now we are going to see more examples. Ye dekho. Example number 2. What do you see, guys? What are the functional groups that you see in this molecule? So definitely you have an alcohol. Other than that, you have the methyl side chains, and you have an acetal. You have an acetal over here in this example, right? And again the temperature conditions and everything is provided. DMSO, COCl2, you are again going to generate the same electrophile, positive, alright, and then in the second step there is triethylamine. Alright, so this is the same reaction. You will be able to write the mechanism by yourself. Okay, oxygen attacks over here, and then you then you form this kind of a ylide, O minus there is, and from this proton, from this carbon is going to take up a proton and form the oxidation CHO. Because it is a terminal alcohol, because it is a primary alcohol, you are definitely getting the aldehyde only after oxidation. Yes, if it is a primary alcohol, you are definitely going to get the aldehyde which you get. Alright, and there is no change in the acetyl as well as in the methyl chain. So yes, we can say the Swern oxidation is a mild oxidation, which is definitely, guys, इतने low temperature पे हो रहा है तो mild ही होगा. Okay, so it is specific to alcohols, the primary and secondary alcohol oxidation, and it is tolerant to a very many different functional groups, and that is why it is a very nice method of oxidation of alcohols. Yes, so here we have a question from December 2015 CSIR NET exam. Alright, so guys, this is a 2-mark question basically, and I hope that all of you will be able to answer this. Now, the major product formed in the following reaction is, there is one thing though. You might think कि ओ ये तो COCl2 है, DMSO है, and minus 60 degrees मतलब this is Swern oxidation. But there is one thing which is not given, that is the triethylamine. Or even if triethylamine is not given, there could be some other base, some other bulky or let's say tertiary base which is not there. It, you know, you could have Dabco, you could have any other bulky base, but it's not there. So there is in this reaction there is no base at all. So what are you going to do? So for that you have to draw the mechanism. To understand these type of questions, you have to draw the mechanism. That is, let's say you made the attack possible. Let's say you in the presence of COCl2 and DMSO, you are going to get the same electrophile generated, alkyl sulfonium chloride. Alright, and then the oxygen attacked on the sulfur, and then you get this Cl minus. So basically this is the intermediate that you are going to get till now, till minus 60 degrees centigrade. Now you guys, you don't have a base. Now if you don't have a base, then this proton from the CH3 would not be grabbed, and that proton is not going to take away another proton from here, which means that there is no oxidation to the aldehyde, which means that option number A is wrong. There is no oxidation, guys. And if there is no oxidation, then what is possible? Even if you want to see option number B, that okay, the carbonyl group is formed and you can make the chloride attack over here, no, this is also incorrect. Why? Because carbonyl तो form ही नहीं हो रहा है, oxidation ही नहीं हो रहा है, guys. Yes, what else is possible? The Cl minus which stays free, the Cl minus, because the reaction conditions is now going from minus 60 to 0 degree centigrade. So at 0 degree centigrade, the Cl minus is going to do SN2 attack onto this carbon, since it is a primary carbon now, and because the oxygen over here is a good leaving group. Yes, notice guys, since this is no more an alcohol, it is connected to sulfur, so it becomes a good leaving group like this. Okay, and as a product you are again going to get the DMSO molecule, and this is what you get. This is your product. Answer number D, option number D, and you get the DMSO, dimethyl sulfoxide, once again. Alright, so in this reaction condition, when you do not have a base, when you don't have a base, SN2 reaction is possible. Yes, SN2 reaction is possible when we bring the temperature from minus 60 degrees centigrade to 0 degrees centigrade. Alright, so how do I know that this is possible? Because first thing, I'm not having a base. Second thing, the temperature is going to 0 degrees centigrade with no other basic thing. Cl minus is not going to, if you argue this thing that Cl minus भी तो ये proton abstract कर सकता है, no, it's not, it is not a base. Let me tell you that the pKa of HCl, alright, the pKa of HCl is very low. It's around minus 5 or minus 7, something like that, which means it's highly acidic. It's not going to, the Cl minus is a very weak base. It's not going to take up a proton. It's only a good nucleophile. Yes, so that is not happening. and that is why the answer is option number D. Now you might ask me, मैम कि conjugate addition भी तो हो सकता है, why not? ये देखो, so basically option number C is given like this कि conjugate addition भी तो हो सकता है, the Cl minus could attack on this carbon also, right? But no, that is not happening. That would be called SN2 prime mechanism. Right, what is SN2 prime mechanism? It is basically attack on the allylic system when we have a leaving group like this. Let's say we have a leaving group like this. So either the Cl minus could attack directly on the carbon, that is our simple SN2 attack on the primary carbon, or the Cl minus could attack on the allylic carbon. The bond can open up like this, or फिर भी the leaving group is going to leave, but that is a different mechanism. It is SN2 prime, and SN2 prime की possibility बहुत ज़्यादा कम होती है as compared to simple SN2 reaction. So yes, we are just carrying out simple SN2 reaction, more priority to it. Alright, and this is it guys, this is option number D. So December 2015 का question है ये, you can check it out and you can solve more previous year questions on the Swern oxidation and a lot many name reactions. So guys, yes, we have completed 20 name reactions and it is a big achievement for me. I hope it is for you as well. आप भी साथ साथ में पढ़ रहे हैं. And if you want, you can follow me on Unacademy also, and you can join me on Unacademy Plus, in which we are basically completing the syllabus for CSIR UGC exam chemical sciences. Alright, so I'm completing most of the syllabus of organic and inorganic, as well as in the batch courses you are also going to get physical chemistry as well. So yes, whole chemistry is getting completed, right? So if you want, you can check it out, and if you want to subscribe, you can use the code Jagriti S. Alright, that will fetch you a 10% discount on the Unacademy Plus subscription. Now always check the description box, because you are going to get the link to my Telegram channel and the link to my Unacademy profile also. Thank you so much guys, and like the video if you really liked it, and also share it with your friends. Alright, and also subscribe to the channel if you already haven't. Thank you so much, and I'm going to come very soon with a new video. Till then, bye and keep on studying.